Well, hello there and good evening, my friends. Welcome back to Carpo's channel. Once again, I'm here to host my own thoughts on the world, and goddamn, do I have a lot of opinions. And looking back over the years at all the opinions I've had, all the ideas I've had, I generally stand by most of them, although they have changed quite a bit over the years based on new information. Hopefully, you have changed as well, and you're willing to take in new information. So as I sit here, the old hippie with a latte, shtick, I'm actually, I have my homemade mocha right here, and I'll make my espresso, go out and harvest my own cocoa. Kidding, of course. I think I used Nesquik in there, so a little bit of a cinnamon, make it kind of a Mexi mocha, if that's not an offensive term anymore. They're delicious, and on the other hand, what the left hand doeth, the right hand skeweth, with a delicious whiskey called Blade and Bow, which my son bought for me as we just returned from a birthday um, excursion to a cabin up by Mount Hood, up in Rhododendron, Oregon. It's just kind of at the base of Mount Hood, and it's a little vacation rental area with a lot of nice, rustic style, large houses, cabin style, all wood. And people go there and rent the place so they can go skiing in the mountains. We didn't do any skiing. I don't even know if the slopes are open yet. I'm sure they probably are. They usually open around Thanksgiving, and I think they got some heavy snow early. But I haven't been snowboarding in a long time. I can't fuck myself up there. Um, if I get hurt once and twist a leg, I can't feed my family, right? I mean, it sucks getting old. It is what it is. Obviously, you've got to be old to like sip whiskey on the rocks, I guess. But it was my 49th birthday yesterday, and my son's 30th birthday a week or two. Oh, yeah, it's like 10 days ago. And he had a big party at his house, and they played live music, and he's in a band, and we had a great time. And then we rented a house for my birthday weekend and kind of celebrating both of our birthdays, which we haven't done in a while. And it was a great time. The house had this big vaulted ceiling up to like 30 feet, but then it had this wall that came down part way. So the kitchen had a shallower ceiling, but then the wall went way up, and there was these two sliding doors that opened from the upper bedroom. And so the kids put on like this play from the window, and it was great. We just listened to music. We did a bunch of chanting, Om chants. We did a whole bunch of fun stuff, and there was a hot tub and everything. And you just think, my God, it's good to live in the modern age. Like having gratitude for just the moment to be with family and friends. Two of my best friends came up, and we just partied and had a great time. I got very little sleep, 4 hours the first night, 5 hours the next night. Barely made it home, and man, I was tired. And then I slept all night, like 9 hours. Woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and just could not get back to sleep. And then woke up or about 6 a.m. I started falling asleep again. I'm like, damn it, now I got to go to work. And went to work all day, got done what I could, and then I came home and I said, I'm going to make a video in the interim between getting home, cleaning up the house, and then waiting for this guy to show up who wants to buy this chair. I have a chair that I was going to sell, and it's this dude I've been talking to on Craigslist for a while. So I'm trying to downsize my life. And it's hard to do. The most important things that I do in my life are the events that I have with friends and family. And sometimes it is so damn hard to get out and actually do it. You know what I mean? You have in your mind, you're like, how am I going to get, all these people together? And then you've got to pay to rent a place. And it's going to cost money. You got to buy groceries, gas, everything else. And you're like, but then you think, what else am I going to do with the money that I work for? Save it? Spend it on a truck I don't need, or, spend too much on something that I probably won't use. or create a lifelong memory. You know what I mean? I found that those memories are priceless. It's like always my advice to people who don't know what to do with their money and spend too much money. It's on stupid things, frivolous things. Like, I have it, so I'm going to spend it. And I get that. I understand the mentality of spending money that you have just because you have it. But it's something that I guess I've always been frugal. Um, I still shop for the cheapest stuff I can within quality reason, you know. Um, if I'm going to buy something expensive, I want it to go to a small vendor, you know, some local artisan or somebody who actually made something really cool rather than some corporate logo or something to say, look, oh, I wear this type of watch. Oh, look, the logo on my shirt. Oh, check it out. Look how fancy I am. Look how stylish I am. Look at my $1,000 shoes. Look at my $5,000 purse. That kind of shit is just weird to me. But if it's something that it was actually handmade by an individual that's one of a kind or unique, that's a totally different story. On that note, my friend, some of you know, I have a friend Scott he has a company, Rag Hats, and he makes these amazing, like, embroidered hats. He's just, they've gotten so good. And they're usually patchwork hats. They're like bucket hats. He makes a few different kinds. And he actually got Billy Strings, one on Billy Strings' head. Anybody who listens to Billy Strings, if you look back on some of his posts, he's wearing this like bucket hat made of like patchwork, you know, corduroy. My buddy had his friend throw him up on stage, try to get him to wear one, and he did, and he actually kept wearing it, and I thought that was pretty cool. But at the birthday party, my buddy showed up, and he brought my wife a gift for her birthday, which was last month. And I was just blown away. Like, made me look pretty bad. I'm not good with holidays, but this dude, he spent so long on this thing. Women's belts that you might see if you go to shows, you know, especially at like dead shows and stuff. They become more popular. They're like mini purses on a belt, basically. Women have, you know, there's a lot for chicks. They need ones for dudes because I wear that kind of stuff. I have all kinds of pouches, but it's got like each pouch, there's like 6 pouches, different sizes with zippers, hidden pockets, all kinds of stuff, and snaps. And each one's unique. Each one has different embroidery on it. This thing took a long time, and I've never seen anything quite so awesome, you know, like, let alone my buddy making it. It's just awesome. And so thank you, Scoey, if you're out there. I revere good art, you know, and especially when somebody I love makes it for somebody else I love. That's awesome. So I guess I'm just kind of talking about myself, aren't I? You know, when I start a video, I never know exactly where I'm going to go with it. You know, sometimes that's just how it goes. And maybe we all just need to talk about ourselves sometimes and our experiences. I guess it's just one of those things. I like to share the things that I do and the things that I think. I've gone back and forth on, do I share a video of some kind of fact having nothing to do with me, or do I share discussions just about myself? No, I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about. And after 5,000 videos, I guess pretty much covered everything. It's so funny when new people find my channel, they're like, they'll come back after leaving a comment on my recent video that they found, or whichever one, and they'll leave a random comment on some old video that I haven't, you know, forgot I even made, and be like, holy crap, man, I watched one of your videos about tobacco, and then the next thing you know, I Googled something about, you know, Buddhism, and then I found another one from you, and like, because the algorithm works like that, if somebody you've watched has a topic that's similar to what you're looking for, and I have pretty much every fucking topic out there. You know, there's so many things that I would like to talk about, but there's so many things that are ineffable that really need to be experienced by the individual in order for me to convey I don't have a lot of people I can talk about, say, my spiritual breakthroughs or experiences with psychedelics, because unless they're on that wavelength, I'm just spitting random shit to people who don't understand. Not that you don't understand, but a lot of my subscribers have never tried psychedelics. They might not know what I'm talking about. And yeah, lately I've been doing a lot of research into these things. Uh, it's kind of, I've been watching this unfold since I was younger, like saying one day there will be a resurgence and psychedelics will go mainstream. But I was just listening to this podcast from this guy who was saying, he used kind of a metaphor. He's like, what if I did die and I went to, and there were pearly gates and I went before God, and he's like, so, why didn't you try any of these amazing plants I gave you to try to understand me better? He's like, well, because some guy in a white coat told me not to. And he was going on about how frustrating it is that doctors really, not only do they not understand psychedelics and the benefits of various plant medicines and rituals, but they don't understand basic nutrition. I mean, they might take an 8-hour course about nutrition. Nutrition is like, the cornerstone of health, and exercise, of course. But most of the time it's like, here, let me give you a pill for that. And we have these psychedelic compounds which have benefited people for millennia. People have written about it and painted about it and drawn about it in caves, mushrooms, peyote cactus. It's why were these things so revered by people? Well, because they allowed them to commune with one another. It's funny, a lot of people have taken psychedelics and even taken them in large groups, but not an intentional large group. That's a totally different thing. When everyone's there for the same purpose to, I guess, connect in some way, it can be amazing. But I guess when you go to a concert or an event, everybody is there basically communing, but it's different because you don't know the people. But I'll tell you, you get to know them pretty quick. Because ultimately, there are some truths that just can't be explained. They can only be nodded and winked about. And I can't say that I have any more wisdom than anyone else, but I have certain understandings that help me cope with life. And I try to share those things with other people, but it's very difficult to explain in any form of layman terms. I think anybody who's ever taken, who's been seriously taking psychedelics with an intent and under the right setting, they say that it's one of the most revelation, the biggest revelation in their life, if not one of the most important experiences that they ever had. And I can't disagree with that, in my own experience. So, but anyway, I guess I talked a little bit about me, a little bit about psychedelics. I just wanted to get warmed up. I'm going to make another video here because I got a few things to talk about. And I don't know. Let me just tell you that speaking is an art form. If you don't do it every fucking day, then you totally forget how to do it. Like sometimes I'll make a video and I know exactly where I'm going with it. I haven't really talked about anything in a week, but I had some crazy experience the other night that it was like a time dilation type thing, and I really wanted to share that, but I can't because it's too complicated to explain. But one day I want to get into these experiences that I've documented and written down and recorded, and try to kind of get to the bottom of some of these deeper mysteries that I want to understand. So, if you have any wild experiences and mysteries, feel free to leave them in the comments. I appreciate you all. Go ahead and hit the like button and leave a comment and subscribe and all that shit. And I also have a podcast called 15 Minute Free Thinking, and a Patreon at Carpo719, and a website called Buy Me a Coffee if you just want to chip in a couple bucks. Otherwise, I wish that, I hope to see you all on the next video. Be well.